Hello traders, welcome to a new video on counter copy trading. What if I told you that instead of betting on this, we're going to bet that this is going to go up, we're going to bet that this is going to go down, or betting on something like this, or I don't know, this. What if instead of betting just on some random coins, long, short, we were to bet on something completely different? What if we bet on people's results? And that's a strategy that I've concocted up and I've covered before, but I want to give you a really good way to look at it. There are two things that you can do with copy trading. These are people that on Binance reveal all of their trades. You can either choose to copy them or you could choose to counter them. Now, if you copy one of these traders, theoretically, if that green line continues to go up, you would make money. If you were to bet against one of these guys and that green line goes up, you will lose money. Now, this is a method that I find absolutely fascinating because instead of actually betting on different kinds of markets and their performance, you are betting on, in the long term, how well will these people do, which I think is so fascinating, seriously. So what I've done is I have 4 different copy traders that I want to show you. And here's how I got to it. So I want to counter all 4 of these traders. I'm going to reveal what their names are. If you want to get this kind of setup, go to 90-day P&L. You can also change this to a different time frame. We can go 30-day P&L, and I like to have this box ticked right here. Again, this is Binance copy trading. Here's what I found interesting. What if I was to go here? What if I was to go to the last place guys and to bet against them? Just how much money could I make? Now, as you can see here, a lot of these guys are not doing well in the last 30 days. We can also see in the last 7 days and in the last 90 days, traders who are losing on this 30-day P&L tend to be losing overall. That is what I've noticed. So what's really interesting to me is you can see someone like Mr. Shark, this guy, who's unfortunately down 34.6 grand in futures trading with assets under management of 200K. Now, his line's going down. He's down, it says 15%. If you believe that, he's going to continue to lose money, then you are actually shorting Mr. Shark. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing today. So let's go look at these 4 traders. This is for Freedom. This is translated. Now, what this shows is this guy is down 80%. You can see how much he's lost for his copy traders. And if we look at his P&L chart, he did have a very typical retail trading beginning to his Binance copy trading. A lot of guys, when they start trading, actually do have some initial success with high leverage. But in the long run, most traders are going to lose. And had you shorted him, meaning just bet against him every single time, you would be up a lot of money. Now, what do I mean by shorting one of these copy traders? Well, what you want to do is click mock copy. If you click mock copy, you will get alerts whenever they take a position, and you will instantaneously be able to be alerted to their position. Now, how do we counter a trader successfully? Well, to do that, you're going to have a counter trading ratio. So if you have a 1% ratio, what that means is you take this guy's size of 39.404, and very simply, we multiply that by 1%, and we would have shorted that amount because he's long. Now, guys, had we shorted this amount of Ethereum at the price that he bought at, we would currently be up about 1% of the amount of P&L that he's down. So he's down 28,300. Now, we would be up about 283 bucks. If we took more risk, we would be up more money. That's a very, very interesting strategy where instead of betting on markets to go up or down, you can actually bet on these people to make or lose money. Very interesting. So here are another few results. And I want you to keep in mind this kind of ROI P&L chart. Now, these are going to be 2 different things. I think ROI is completely irrelevant, to tell you the truth, because it doesn't have anything to do with the money made. It just has to do with the position size. P&L is just going to be way better. Just to see the net P&L, let's go look at that instead. So he did have initial success, and then things didn't go too well. It would have been fantastic for you to have bet against him with a decently sized bankroll. Next guy. This guy is probably doing worse than anyone I've seen. Everything he shorted at pretty terrible prices. At least he's down. At least he's up 45 bucks on Bitcoin Cash. As you guys can see here, this guy is down 23 grand on Solana, down 12 grand on Bitcoin. In the last 7 days, it just hasn't really gone too well for him, and he's shorted at very, very bad prices. He shorted 64.8K, very bad price to short at, looking at the current price of BTC. Had you guys decided that this guy, for whatever reason, was going to lose money, you could have bet against him, counter traded him, i.e. basically shorted the guy named with the same glory or whatever his real name is. And had you shorted him, you would be up a decent amount. Again, if you wanted to quote unquote short him, you would click mock copy, you would get alerted to his positions. And then after you click mock copy, you would have a shorting ratio or a counter trading ratio of like, let's say 1%. And then if you do that, you'd be initiating your positions and copying, countering basically the exact thing that he does every time. You can also see their position history, trade history, everything. Now, what I love about this is you can see that he did have that initial success. You would have lost some money for sure. But if you actually look at how much he made these few times, he is down a lot more than what he was up. So the thing about most traders, which is really sad to say, guys, most of them like to take these small losses, small gains. Do you see this? 2.4K gained, 2.8K gained. He did make a few grand here and there. You can see all these. But would you rather do this and then have this, or the other way around? Now, for me, I would much rather, it'd be tough emotionally, but I would much rather be in this position to be doing the exact opposite. I would have taken a lot of losing trades because 84% of his trades were successes, but the 16% that aren't, look how much money he lost and how much money you would have made. Absolutely fascinating, and I will bet you any amount of money this guy is going to lose money long term. So guys that have very high win rates are very, very good for you to bet against. I'm serious. Because what they tend to do is they tend to not close their losing trades, which basically gives you the perfect trend trade you could have ever asked for. So this guy does have a lower win rate, but it's only 3 position sample size. This guy has a 25 sample size, which is a bit better. But it's just so fascinating to me that almost all of his trades are profitable, but he isn't. Isn't that weird? Overall, his net P&L is down 23K. You would be up $233 had you counter traded him. Let's go to the next guy. This is not the same guy, I can promise you. This is Rumax Patel. Yep, let's go take a look at what's going on here. So if we look at the P&L, which is of course more important than ROI, he had a bit of losing. Then he had that initial retail success that just everyone has, really. And then he had this. So if we look at this guy's past trades, if we were to have done the exact opposite of him, we actually would have done pretty well. He lost $24,000 on a Bitcoin trade here, which is crazy. It's because he bought 3 Bitcoin here and then he sold his 3 Bitcoin here, losing $24,000 in the process. If you just counter traded every single thing that he had done, you would be up a fair amount. Wow. So you can also see other things like trade history, but that's not as important. What's more important is position history and copy traders, to see else is copying him. Now, this guy's win rate is very, very interesting. It's 84% on 135 sample size. That is so fascinating because just like the previous guy, the majority of the time spent and the trades taken are profitable. It's just that the interesting thing is it's those 4 positions that are unprofitable that lose these guys so much money. And this is the downfall of retail traders. I'm serious. This is the reason why a lot of retail traders lose. Their win rate's too high. And this makes absolutely beautiful times for you to counter a trader. Now, let's go on to the last example here. This guy, I don't think I have much data on. I think I need to go to 90 to get some more. Yeah, let's go to performance 90 days. So he's only taken 3 trades. This guy that's obviously not his real name. It's this. So this guy is, let's see here. He has a win ratio of 33.33%. That actually looks pretty similar to this guy, but it's not the same guy. They have different stats, as you can see right here. So this guy shorted Bitcoin at a price of 64K. And he is currently down $31,000. Now, had you, let's say, counter traded him with 1-to-1 ratio, well, then you would have bought 11 Bitcoin, counter trading him, and you would currently be up $31,000. Had you done 1% of his size, meaning you bought 1% of what he's short, you would be up about $313, as you can see. Position history, as you can see here, this guy hasn't really done too well either. These are past trades from a while back, though, like December 2023. But overall, you can see that he's a losing trader. So I find this just absolutely so interesting, guys, that we have the ability, and no one talks about this. People talk about copy trading, but no one talks about actually betting on people's results because it's completely possible if you follow it to a T. Now, the most important thing I will say, if you are going to pull this off, you need to be incredibly well bankrolled to the size that you're going to trade. And 2, you need to be very, very emotionally strong because if you're going to counter trade these guys, you do know that a lot of them will win 84% of the time. 84.44% of the time. But it's that 16% of the time of those trades that lose, that's what happens. They lose $50,000 and you make a killing. So I'm incredibly confident that in the long run, doing this kind of strategy with a large enough bankroll, so that you can not get liquidated when you are counter trading a trader that you think is going to lose money, is incredibly profitable. And some people might say, well, Bennett, the fees might eat you. No, on Binance and other futures platforms, the fees probably aren't going to hurt you too much. I mean, if this guy's only taken 25 trades in 90 days, the fees are just irrelevant. Even 135 trades, guys, in 90 days, I mean, that's like what, 0.04, 0.05% round trip fee? That's really not that much in the grand scheme of things, especially when someone's down, I don't know, $14,900. The point of this is not to just rag on any individual. The point of this is to give you a completely different type of trading technique where we can go here. We can go to recent people who have been losing for a long time or people who have just been recently losing a little bit. You can look at their trends. You can go to the last page, meaning the people that have lost the most money when it comes to their P&L. And you can see just so many interesting trends of their charts and over time. And if you believe that for whatever reason, one of these guys is going to continue to lose money, meaning that someone like this, King Futures VIP, he's not doing too well, you think that he's just going to continue losing money, well then luckily, I mean, Binance shows you the way. All you have to do is just click on this and you'll see right here. There he is. He is short 11 Bitcoin, as you can see right here. And if we could look at his 90-day, I'll bet you it'll be pretty interesting and probably down money. Yeah, so as you can see, just like a lot of other retail traders, he just didn't trade for a while. Then the very second he started trading, he made a lot of money very quickly. That's so similar to everyone here, guys. Every single time, the very second they start trading, they make a lot and they lose it all. So if you want to take advantage of guys like this, who maybe are on the losing side and you don't find it amoral, this could be a very profitable venture. Because think about it this way, you are the casino now. If you're actively betting on traders like this with P&L charts like this to fail, you're essentially the casino. And these guys are the players at your casino. So I made this video because I wanted to give you guys a completely different type of trading strategy that no one talks about, at least not in the retail trading space. And for me, I find this absolutely, fascinating. So if you guys are interested in what I'm talking about, you can join the link in the description below and get a lot of other high alpha strategies like this. Again, this is at your own risk. Of course, it's not financial advice. The power is in your hands to do whatever you want with this information. It's your life. It's your money. And with that, happy trading, and I guess start to go bet on some traders to win, or more preferably to lose money so that you make it. Happy trading.